Scientists just found microplastics inside human brain tissue, and the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease had significantly higher concentrations than healthy brains. Let me say that again. Actual plastic particles inside human brain tissue. Not in a lab experiment, not in a petri dish, in real human brains. And before you say, "Well, Walter, I don't eat plastic," here's the problem. You don't have to eat plastic. You're already consuming it every single day without knowing it. Researchers estimate that the average person ingests approximately 5 grams of microplastics every single week. That's the equivalent of eating 1 credit card's worth of plastic every 7 days. 1 credit card every week going into your body. And a significant portion of it is ending up in your organs, including your brain. And here's why this matters so much more after 60. Your blood-brain barrier, which is the protective shield that keeps harmful substances out of your brain, weakens as you age. That means microplastics that a younger brain might partially block are getting through to your brain at a much higher rate after 60. Your brain is more vulnerable right now than it has ever been. So today I'm going to show you exactly where microplastics are coming from, what the science says they're doing to your brain, and most importantly, 7 specific things you can do starting today to dramatically reduce your exposure. I'm Walter, and this one might be the most important video I've made. Let's get into it. First, let me explain what microplastics actually are, because most people have a vague idea but don't understand the full picture. Microplastics are tiny plastic particles, smaller than 5 millimeters, that come from the breakdown of larger plastic products. Everything from plastic bottles to food packaging to synthetic clothing to plastic bags. As plastics degrade, they don't disappear. They just get smaller. They break down into microplastics and then into even tinier particles called nanoplastics, which are so small they can pass directly through cell membranes. These particles are now literally everywhere. They've been found in the deepest ocean trenches, on the highest mountain peaks, in Arctic snow, in rainwater, in the air we breathe, and most alarmingly, inside human bodies. A 2024 study published in Nature Medicine found microplastics and nanoplastics in human brain tissue samples. And the concentration in the brain tissue of people with dementia was significantly higher than in neurologically healthy brains. That's not a smoking gun. Scientists are careful to say correlation isn't causation, but it is a very loud alarm bell that we cannot afford to ignore, especially after 60. Now let me tell you the 3 main ways microplastics are attacking your brain. Because once you understand the mechanism, you'll understand why this is so serious. Mechanism number 1, neuroinflammation. When microplastic particles enter your brain tissue, your immune system recognizes them as foreign invaders and launches an inflammatory response. But here's the problem. Your immune system can't actually destroy plastic particles. So the inflammation just keeps going and going and going, what scientists call chronic neuroinflammation. And chronic neuroinflammation is one of the primary drivers of Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and general cognitive decline. This is established science. This is not new or controversial. Mechanism number 2, oxidative stress. Microplastics generate what are called free radicals inside your cells, unstable molecules that damage your DNA, your proteins, and the membranes of your brain cells. Think of it like rust forming inside your brain cells. Oxidative stress is essentially your brain rusting from the inside out, and it accelerates dramatically when microplastics are present. Mechanism number 3, hormone disruption. Many plastics contain chemical additives, things like BPA, phthalates, and other endocrine-disrupting compounds, and these chemicals leach out of the plastic particles and directly interfere with your hormonal system. These disruptions affect cortisol levels, thyroid function, and neurotransmitter balance, all of which have direct consequences for brain health, mood, memory, and cognitive function. So you have 3 simultaneous attacks on your brain: inflammation, oxidative stress, and hormone disruption, all happening at once, all driven by particles so small you can't see them. And here's what makes this especially dangerous for people over 60. All 3 of these mechanisms are already naturally increased by aging. Microplastics are essentially pouring gasoline on a fire that's already burning. Now I want to show you exactly where these microplastics are coming from, because some of the sources will genuinely shock you. Source number 1, plastic water bottles. A 2024 study found that a single 1-liter plastic water bottle releases an average of 240,000 plastic particles into the water inside it. 240,000 particles in one bottle that you drink in one day. And here's what makes it worse. The researchers found that these weren't just microplastics. 90% of them were nanoplastics, the tiny ones that pass directly through cell membranes and can cross the blood-brain barrier. If you drink bottled water every day, this is your single biggest source of microplastic exposure, and it's also your single biggest opportunity to make an immediate difference. Source number 2. Plastic food containers and plastic wrap. When you heat food in plastic containers, even ones labeled microwave safe, the heat causes the plastic to leach particles and chemicals directly into your food. Microwave safe means the container won't melt or deform. It does not mean it won't release plastic into your food. This is one of the most misunderstood labels in your kitchen. Even without heat, acidic foods like tomatoes and citrus stored in plastic containers will draw out plastic chemicals over time. The longer food sits in plastic, the more contamination occurs. Source number 3. Sea salt and tap water. Sea salt has been found to contain microplastics because our oceans are now so saturated with plastic that it's working its way into the marine food chain and into salt produced from seawater. And tap water, depending on where you live, can also contain microplastics. A study of tap water across multiple countries found microplastics in 83% of samples tested. 83% of tap water samples. This is a global contamination problem, not a local one. Source number 4. Tea bags. This one surprises people every time. Many commercial tea bags are made from plastic mesh, polypropylene, or nylon, and when you steep them in boiling water, they release billions of microplastic particles directly into your cup. A 2019 study found that a single plastic tea bag steeped in boiling water releases approximately 11 billion microplastic particles into your tea. 11 billion in one cup of tea. Something millions of seniors drink every single day thinking it's one of the healthiest things they can do. Source number 5. Indoor air. This is the one people least expect. The dust floating around inside your home contains microplastic fibers from synthetic carpets, upholstery, clothing, and curtains. Every time you walk across a synthetic carpet, every time you sit on a polyester couch, every time you put synthetic clothing in a dryer, you're releasing microplastic fibers into the air of your home. And you're breathing them in. Researchers have found microplastics in human lung tissue, which tells us they're entering through our airways as well as through our food and water. Now, here's the part one know you've been waiting for. What can you actually do about this? Because I'm not going to leave you with a list of problems and no solutions. The good news is that while you can't eliminate microplastic exposure entirely, it's too widespread for that. You can dramatically reduce your personal exposure with 7 specific changes. Tip number 1. Switch to a glass or stainless steel water bottle and stop buying single-use plastic water bottles. This is the single highest impact change you can make. If you're currently drinking from plastic bottles every day, switching to glass or stainless steel immediately eliminates your biggest source of daily microplastic exposure. Get a good glass water bottle or a high-quality stainless steel one, fill it from a filtered source, use it every day. It will pay for itself within a month compared to buying bottled water, and your brain will thank you. Tip number 2. Never heat food in plastic and switch your food storage to glass containers. Go through your kitchen and replace plastic food storage containers with glass ones. Mason jars, glass Tupperware, ceramic bowls with lids. All of these work perfectly and eliminate the plastic leaching problem entirely. And write this on your hand if you have to. Never ever microwave food in a plastic container. Transfer it to a glass bowl or a ceramic plate first. This takes 10 seconds and removes a significant source of daily contamination. Tip number 3. Switch to loose-leaf tea or paper tea bags. Check your tea bags at home right now. If they're the silky mesh kind, they're almost certainly plastic. Throw them out and replace them with either loose-leaf tea in a stainless steel infuser or brands that use paper-only tea bags. This is one of the easiest swaps you can make because loose-leaf tea is actually better quality, better tasting, and often cheaper per cup than bagged tea. It's a win in every direction. Tip number 4. Filter your drinking water. Not all water filters are equal when it comes to microplastics. Look specifically for filters that are certified to remove microplastics. Reverse osmosis filters are the gold standard and remove up to 99% of microplastics from tap water. If a full reverse osmosis system is outside your budget, activated carbon block filters also significantly reduce microplastic content and are much more affordable. Something is always better than nothing. Tip number 5. Increase your intake of antioxidant-rich foods. Remember mechanism number 2, oxidative stress. This is where your diet becomes a direct defense against microplastic damage. Foods rich in antioxidants, blueberries, leafy greens, walnuts, olive oil, dark chocolate, green tea, help neutralize the free radicals generated by microplastics in your body. You can't always control what gets in, but you can absolutely arm your cells with the tools to fight back. A diet rich in colorful fruits and vegetables is your internal defense system. Tip number 6. Reduce synthetic textiles in your home. This doesn't mean you need to throw out everything you own, but when you're replacing carpets, upholstery, or clothing, choose natural fibers where possible. Wool, cotton, linen, silk. These don't shed microplastic fibers the way polyester and nylon do. In the meantime, the single most effective thing you can do right now is open your windows regularly and use a HEPA air purifier in the rooms where you spend the most time, your bedroom and your living room. HEPA filters are specifically designed to capture particles the size of microplastics from your indoor air. Running one while you sleep is one of the most passive, protective things you can do for your brain every single night. Tip number 7. Reduce your use of plastic food packaging when grocery shopping. When you have a choice between something packaged in plastic and something packaged in glass, paper, or cardboard, choose the non-plastic option. Buy fresh produce instead of pre-packaged produce in plastic bags. Use reusable cloth bags for groceries. Buy from bulk bins when possible. Choose glass-bottled products over plastic-bottled ones. Every swap reduces the total plastic in your life and the total microplastic exposure to your brain. Now, one thing I want to be very clear about, I am not telling you to panic. The science on microplastics is real and it is serious, but it is also still developing. What we know for certain is that microplastics are inside human bodies, they are inside human brains, they cause inflammation and oxidative stress in laboratory studies, and they are found in higher concentrations in diseased brains. What we don't yet know with certainty is the exact threshold of exposure that causes harm, and whether reducing exposure will definitively reverse or prevent damage. But here's how I think about it. Every single tip I gave you today has benefits far beyond just microplastics. Drinking filtered water, eating more antioxidants, using glass containers, improving your indoor air quality, these are all good for you regardless. So the risk of making these changes? 0. The potential benefit? Enormous. That's a pretty easy decision. Let's recap the 7 protective steps. Number 1. Switch to glass or stainless steel water bottles. Stop buying plastic water bottles. Number 2. Never heat food in plastic. Switch to glass food storage containers. Number 3. Switch to loose-leaf tea or paper-only tea bags. Number 4. Filter your drinking water, ideally with a reverse osmosis or activated carbon block filter. Number 5. Eat more antioxidant-rich foods, blueberries, leafy greens, walnuts, olive oil. Number 6. Use a HEPA air purifier in your bedroom and living room. Open windows regularly. Number 7. Choose glass, paper, and cardboard packaging over plastic when grocery shopping. Your brain has already spent 60, 70, 80 years building everything you are. Your memories, your wisdom, your personality, your ability to live independently. It deserves every protection you can give it. And now you know something that most people don't. One of the silent threats that nobody is talking to seniors about. The changes I gave you today are simple, affordable, and you can start with just one of them right now, today, before you even finish watching this video. If this video helped you, hit that subscribe button, because every week I break down health topics for seniors in a way that's simple, honest, and actually useful. Share this with someone you love who's over 60, because this is exactly the kind of thing that nobody tells us and everybody needs to know. I'm Walter, and I'll see you in the next one.